Now, for more on this, we're now being joined by Gideon Sa'ar, live from New York. He's a fellow at the Arabian Peninsula Institute and Middle Eastern scholar with a forthcoming book on Hezbollah. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on World DNA. Always a pleasure to have you with us. I want to start by asking you, Netanyahu is widely reported to have decided to fire Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, as we just mentioned. The United States says that to do this in the middle of the war and on the brink of a full-blown war with Hezbollah, that would be absolutely crazy. What I want to understand is what kind of an impact can Gallant's ouster have on the ongoing tensions?
Thank you for having me, first of all. This story has really morphed over the day. First, they were talking about a direct replacement for Gallant. Then it's shifted to him taking on different, having people coming in and filling different roles. I know people were pointing to political reasons, but if you look at elections aren't slotted till the May-June time frame in Israel, so I don't see it there. The Israeli military war cabinet just met and added a fourth objective about with the Gaza war, and it's to make sure that the Israeli citizens that have been displaced are repatriated to the villages to the north. So it seems like the messaging with the defense as Gallant and Netanyahu's aims and Israel's aims, they're kind of working in synergy. So I'm not really sure where this message is coming from. I have somewhat of a cynical view, and original story, it's connected to hostages and really the next front of this war, and that is kind of figuring out what's going on with that northern border.
Mr. Gallant, if we were to just go with the reports that are coming as of now until we get more clarity on that, the response from the US side has not been subdued. They've said it would be crazy. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Do you feel the US would be exerting any kind of pressure on Netanyahu to retract his decision if he's already taken it to oust Gallant?
Well, I would hope that the United States would not and would let the Israeli government, which is going to prosecute this war and without outside interference. But if Gallant is replaced, as some have suggested, it is a mistake. I don't think there's any way to look at this. He has prosecuted a war in Gaza that's been so difficult, minimizing civilian casualties. So you're on a 1-to-1 ratio as opposed to like a 4 to 5 to 1 ratio. And he's going to be, if Israel goes north, they're going to experience the same problems that they had and the same challenges that they had in Gaza. But it's going to be on a much larger scale.
Right. And Mr. Gallant, is Gallant more conducive to the United States' efforts and hopes for a ceasefire? Because as we do know, U.S. elections are around the corner, and to be able to secure a ceasefire in the given time frame, that would be another feather in the cap of the current government.
It would be a feather in the cap of the current government, but with a ceasefire, it all comes back to Hamas accepting some type of deal that returns the hostages without some really preconditions that would allow them to regroup, reconstitute, and then launch another October 7th. So the hostages are, first and foremost, they need to be returned. And then I think Israel is of the view is once they're returned, then we can get really into the ceasefire arrangements. But whenever they get into these discussions, Hamas continues to move the goalposts, and less discussion about the hostages and more discussions about Philadelphia Corridor or this or that or the other thing.
All right, Mr. Gideon Sa'ar, thank you so much for joining us here on World DNA and sharing all your thoughts. There'll be lots more to discuss. Would love to have you on the show again.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.